Good morning, Kitchissippi. It is Saturday, March the 1st. This is a video version of the 426th weekly Kitchissippi Ward newsletter. There's lots more information about the topics that we'll discuss in the weekly email newsletter, to which you can subscribe at kitchissippiward.ca. Before I really get underway, I just wanted to provide my big thanks to the crews who have been working around the clock for really the past couple of weeks to try to get the city cleaned up from that back-to-back storm event that we had a couple of weeks ago. There's no cleaning up from that quickly, but they have been going flat out, and it looks like there is light at the end of the tunnel. So my thanks to the crews who have been working around the clock in very long shifts in order to try to get things cleaned up. I know there are some parts of the ward where snow has not yet been removed. It will be. I cannot give you any precision about when snow might be removed from those streets where it hasn't been removed, but please know it hasn't been forgotten. It will get cleaned up. And I know some of you have had some questions with respect to how the city makes determinations about which street gets snow removal first. I don't have that clarity for you today. Councillor Troster and I have written to the city to ask them for some precision around how they make those prioritization decisions. We won't have answers anytime soon. They are still cleaning up, but in due time we'll be able to pass on whatever we hear from them. I have a link in the newsletter to the letter that we wrote to the city. But otherwise, just a great job to the city crews who have been getting us very visibly cleaned up from that absolutely wild storm. And I just want to make quick note as well, congratulations to my former colleague on City Council, Catherine McKenney, who has been elected the Member of Provincial Parliament for Ottawa Centre. Catherine, it is great to know that you'll be representing Ottawa Centre, representing Kitchissippi Ward at Queen's Park. Can't wait to start working with you, and I will pass Catherine's information on to everybody as soon as we know what that is. In the newsletter this week, I am having pop-up office hours. That is going to be on March the 3rd from 2 until 5 p.m. at the Second Cup that is at the corner of Holland and Wellington. Hope I see you there. Pop-ups are an opportunity to come by anytime during those hours. Chat with me one-on-one without appointment about whatever is on your mind. I also received word last week that the use of the 250 Lanark building, the former CBC headquarters, is going to be extended. It looks like the referendum at Kitchissippi to acquire that parcel of land from the Canadian government did not succeed. So we have a bit more flexibility moving forward to continue to use that as overnight shelter on a temporary basis. There are discussions going on between the feds and the city. As soon as I know more, I will pass that on. The Committee of Adjustment is very busy. I know I've mentioned it a few times, but on March 5th there is a hearing at which at 401 Golden, the owner is seeking to create 2 new parcels within that building. It's the existing Westboro Station building. The new parcels would have reductions in parking, no frontage for a public street. City staff say they have no concerns with the application to create 2 new parcels to create office spaces there. And at 30 Railway, the owner is seeking to permit a reduced lot area, lot width, and rear yard setback for the construction of a 9-unit low-rise apartment building. City staff say they have no concerns with that application. New this week, on March the 19th, 60 Hampton is back on the agenda with a revised list of variances for a proposed severance and construction of a long semi. At 196 Clare, the owners are seeking a reduced side yard setback and increased building height from 8 meters to 10.42 meters to construct a semi-detached dwelling. And at 464 Churchill, the owner is looking to build 2 3-story low-rise apartment buildings with 8 units each. They're seeking a variance for the required lot area down from 10 square meters to 9.97 square meters. And at 462 Churchill, right next door, owned by the same owner, the owner is seeking to subdivide the property into 2 parcels to create 2 lots for future development. I've also received the Committee of Adjustments decisions with respect to 511 Highcroft arising out of a previous hearing. That request for, I think it was a front yard setback variance to accommodate a front addition, was approved. Also in the newsletter this week, I've got some details about a hydro pole replacement that's going to be on Broadview between Kenwood and Avondale. Ottawa Hydro is going to be replacing hydro poles down there from now until starting the week of March 10th, probably finished by April 11th. More details in the newsletter. I wanted to make quick note, the Rochester, I'll get this right, westbound on-ramp at the 417 is now closed. Their MTO is doing some work in there, Hewitt Dufferin. That's going to be closed from February 24th until June 20th. The detour for that one, in order to get westbound, is via Carling Avenue to Kirkwood. If you have any questions about that, please pose those either to the MTO or to our MPP. And a last notice that on March 4th, that we are going to have an open house to take a look at the integrated rebuild of Clare and Dovercourt, portions thereof. There are going to be more details available that I have in the newsletter. I'll see you at the open house 6:30 to 8:30 at Dovercourt on March the 4th. City Hall continues to be very busy. The Finance and Services Committee is meeting this week on March 4th. We're going to debate a motion that was brought forward by Councillor Plant on excusing an alleged victim of harassment where a third-party complaint of harassment is brought to the Integrity Commissioner, excusing them from being required to cooperate with the Integrity Commissioner. The IT department is going to be presenting its departmental work plan. We're going to be considering the expropriation of a bit of land to accomplish rebuild of the baseline Greenbank intersection with some transit and cycling and pedestrian facilities in there. Many people are going to be watching the motion that is being brought by Councillor Dudas to require the city to leave what was formerly known as Twitter. I'm very supportive of that. You've probably seen some press around that this week. And then finally, Councillor Menard has a motion that he's bringing to require the city, if Lansdowne 2.0 does not move forward, to give some consideration to how the existing Lansdowne facilities can be made more accessible. The Agricultural and Rural Affairs Committee is going to be meeting on March the 6th with a short agenda that includes a rezoning at 1811 Richardson Side Road and the recommended recipients of the Rural Community Building Grant. And then other meetings, I am expecting that on Wednesday there will be a special meeting of City Council in order to consider what we assume will be Councillor DeRuse's resignation. He handily won his race to become MPP in the riding of Carleton, so we're going to have to replace him. Council will turn its attention to that on Wednesday. And that will almost certainly be a by-election in his ward to replace Councillor DeRuse. Kitchissippi, that's all I have in the newsletter this week. Another bit of snow here, but hopefully soon cleaned up. I see the weather's is starting to warm up. I know we're all looking forward to that. You know, last year on March 24th, I was able to get my scooter out for the season. I'm very much looking forward to that in order to be able to move around the ward a little more quickly. Kitchissippi, I hope you have a great week, and thank you for watching.